Hey, what's up guys? So we finally got SHADEWING added to the global servers. I decided to pull him to Supreme Plus last night and I EX10'd his mythic weapon, and then I tested him out a whole bunch in my friends list duels to see how he works with the dot damage dealers and all that kind of stuff, because he does a lot of damage with his Withering Curse skill. However, it feels like there's just something wrong with him. Like it feels like the Withering Curse skill isn't working properly, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we do some fights, because we are going to go to my friends list and fight some teams so you guys can see him in action. But I wanted to talk about some of his important skills that you'll actually see in these fights, because, for example, his ultimate. You probably won't even see him get to an ultimate in most fights, because they'll be over before he ever gains enough energy to do an ult. He has 0 initial starting energy. He also wastes a couple seconds at the beginning of the battles to cast his Withering Curse skill, so it takes him even longer to start gaining energy. And by the time he would get to an ultimate, there might be like one hero left on the battlefield, or your team is already dead and it doesn't matter. Like that's what I've found with his ult, so it really doesn't come into play that much. The skills that come into play are his Razor Talon skill, which will help you get more curse value from Withering Curse, and this is a skill that just it's decent for his skill kit because it does continuous damage. Now it does have a 10-second cooldown, so that kind of sucks, but the initial cooldown is 3 seconds, so he will pull this off in a fight. Basically what will happen is he'll do Withering Curse, which will debuff the physical and magical defense of the enemy team by 20%, and it will convert any continuous damage they take into a curse value. And when that value reaches a certain threshold, which is when it reaches the lesser of 20% of an enemy's max HP, or 400% of SHADEWING's initial attack, the curse lashes out, dealing damage equal to 25% of the enemy's max HP, but that can exceed 600% of his attack. So this does quite a bit of damage, and when you get his mythic skill up to level 3, it turns 85% of that damage dealt into true damage. So it does turn into a high damaging skill. But like I said, it takes a while to actually build up the curse value to trigger this to go off. And it seems like there's something wrong with the way the dot damage is working with his curse, because it doesn't seem to actually fill the curse value bar up. So I don't know, but his Razor Talon skill will add to this, because he'll stab the enemy, rip his claws out of the chest, which causes an open wound, and that does continuous damage for 5 seconds, which then helps increase the curse value, or the Withering Curse value bar. And the other thing I wanted to point out is his Enhanced Force. So when you're positioning this guy, if you have a hero placed one tile in front of him, he's going to drain 10% of that hero's HP to gain a 30% attack boost, 30 life drain, and a shield equal to 500% of the HP drained, up to 500% of his attack. And the effect lasts until the end of the battle. So he gives himself a little bit of a buff by taking some HP from the hero in front of him. So if you're using him, you're probably going to want to have a healer that can heal up that hero, or else you're giving a disadvantage to the hero placed in front of him. But anyway, let's go to my friends list and do some battles and check this hero in action. So the first team that we're going to fight against is actually the team we fought in yesterday's video. It's Kalin, Niru, Twins, Shamira, and Siren. And then we're going to use our Bonnie, Citrana dot damage team with Ludovic, Siren, and SHADEWING. We're also going to use Seismic Spell, because Seismic Spell has the ability to do continuous damage, which will help us with our curse values and just doing more damage with SHADEWING. So that's pretty cool. However, since both sides have Siren on their teams, the artifacts really won't come into play much. But if you don't have a Siren on the enemy team, you could always just use the Seismic Spell, and that's going to help. It's going to help increase the curse value that you gain and get it much faster, filled up much faster. So let's go ahead and hit battle. We can see how this plays out. You'll see that SHADEWING is going to fly across the battlefield, putting the curse on everybody. That's going to reduce their magical and physical defense, allowing us to do a little bit more damage than normal. And then you can see 5 seconds into the fight is when SHADEWING actually can start doing attacks. That's when he lands from putting the curse on them. So that's another reason why he is very slow to gain HP, gain energy and actually get to an ultimate. By the time he would get to an ultimate, the fight will usually be over. But as you can see, we made pretty quick work of that team. He's not bad. He did some decent damage in this fight. Now, also keep in mind he is Supreme Plus, and the rest of my heroes are P4, and we're fighting against a full P4 team. So it is pretty impressive that he's able to survive, number one, and also do a pretty decent amount of damage. So we're going to do this fight again. I want to change my team up a little bit because I want to showcase something that's actually really important to know about Shadewing, and also is really cool. So just give me one sec. So we're going to fight against the same team again. However, we're going to take our Siren out, and we're going to put Igor in, because this is going to demonstrate that when Shadewing dies, his curse is still able to do damage and trigger and all that kind of good stuff. So you don't need Shadewing alive to actually trigger his curse damage, and it's actually pretty cool. So let's go ahead and hit battle. We should be able to activate Bonnie's dot damage. It might just take a little bit longer, but we also have Citrana's dot damage to help fill up the curse bar and all that kind of good stuff. So fight starts just like the last fight did. And you'll see that we do lose a lot of our heroes. However, Igor is able to prolong the fight for us, and that's going to be able to allow us to trigger the curse damage multiple times against some of these heroes. So we triggered it on Siren there. Sometimes it's hard to see when it's getting triggered and whatnot, but right there's another one getting triggered. Now we're starting to get some kills. The Shamira got her ultimate off, and we're triggering the curse damage over and over and over again. And yeah, it works out pretty good. It actually, as the fight progresses, it fills up faster and faster and faster. And as you can see, Shadewing is doing some decent damage in this fight. He's actually done the most damage, 17.6 million damage from a Supreme Plus hero that's only EX10 against a full P4 team. So it's pretty cool. I actually do like this hero. However, he's not as good as his skills make him sound. I don't know if there's something off about the way his curse value is being looked at in the game, by the game or whatever, because I feel like I'll pull up another team here really quick that we can fight against to demonstrate this, because I feel like the curse value is just not it's just not being filled up. And let me just pull up the team. So here we have a Wilder team with Bonnie and Citrana on it. So it's Bonnie, Citrana, Tassie, Aaron, and Olmus. And then we're running our Bonnie Citrana dot damage team with Siren, Ludovic, and Shadewing. So the very first team that we ran in this video. And we're also going to be using Seismic Spell, because that, like I said, does continuous damage. So that's going to help us fill up the curse bars. And you'll see that they don't actually have a Siren on their team, so this will trigger right away at the start of the fight. And that should, honestly, between our dot damage from Bonnie, our dot damage from Citrana, and this artifact, we should be filling those curse values up very fast. But you'll see that the curse bars barely gain any curse value. It's so weird. So let's just go ahead and start this fight, and you'll see the dot damage is ticking down on all these heroes, but they're gaining no curse value whatsoever. I don't know if there's just something wrong with it or what's going on. It doesn't really make sense to me, and I really wish I knew what was happening, because I feel like they should have already triggered like a bunch of the curses already. And you can see Tassie's now got a full curse bar up. I don't know if it's just because it takes so much time to actually get the stuff going, but I mean, we're triggering the dot damage really quickly in this fight. Like, we hit replay and we watch this again, and obviously we lost. The Tassie was able to outlast us. Now, if we used Igor or something like that, we could probably win. But let's go ahead and do this, or watch this replay again. And you see all their HP bars are ticking down, but they're gaining no curse value whatsoever. And I feel like they should have, by the time, because a lot of the heroes died, so they should have had a full curse bar by then. I don't know. I messaged the community manager that I know of, and I asked them if they know anything about it, so hopefully they can reply to me and let me know what's going on and whether or not something's wrong, or if it's working as intended. Because if it is working as intended, it's really He's really only going to be good on stall dot damage teams, that type of thing with Igor and whatnot. Now you could get away with some burst dot damage teams, but there's probably better heroes to use in those situations. So yeah, we'll have to see what they say. It just doesn't seem right to me, but let's see if we can find one more team to fight. Or actually, let's go ahead and fight this team, but with Igor instead. Okay, so we got the same team pulled back up. We're going to go ahead and use Bonnie, Citrana, Siren, Shadewing, and Igor with the seismic spell. So hopefully we can see either the curse bar filling up super fast, or we see that the longer the fight goes on, the faster the curse bar gets filled up, and that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and hit battle and see if our Igor can outlast the Tassie. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but hopefully we can get the victory. And you'll see that the dot damage ticks down super quick, but we're gaining no curse value. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but yeah, I don't know. And I mean, the fight's going to last for a little while, so hopefully we can see a little bit more better results, because we are about to lose our Bonnie, and then our Shadewing will probably die soon. But the Shadewing's actually pretty tanky for a Supreme Plus hero. It's kind of impressive. And as you can see, we are still gaining curse value as the fight goes on. The Tassie's taking it. She just took a hit from the knives there, and I think she's gonna actually beat us out, which kind of sucks, but you know. Oh, what is it? Tie goes to offense or defense? We actually got it. That's so funny. But as you can see, our Shadewing barely did any damage in this fight, even though he lasted quite long. He lasted longer than everyone else except for Igor. So yeah, I don't know if there's just, it really just seems like there's something wrong with the way his curse value is looked at by the game. I don't know the exact words. I don't know programming and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how this would work, or what could be being misinterpreted in the damage equation. So yeah, I don't know, but it just seems off to me. Anyway, I think that's going to be about it for today. I just wanted to kind of show you guys some fights and whatnot, because I think Shadewing has potential. However, he just doesn't seem to be working right. Like I said, I don't know. And if this is him working as intended, I'd say he's probably just a skip hero. Like, yeah, you could make some decent teams with him, but he's not like this standout must-pull hero that he sounds like he is, because his skill kit sounds insane and sounds like it's going to be so good, but it just doesn't really work as well as you think it would in practice. So anyway, that's going to be about it for today. I'm going to test him out with other heroes and things like that, just to see if he can maybe work better with other heroes, like Taylene, for example. Her ultimate, I'm pretty sure, counts as continuous damage, so that could be a very good way to use Shadewing, but we'll test it out and see, and I'll let you guys know if I find anything good. So anyway, farlight link is in the description below and in the pinned comment. If you guys want to support me, you can do that by using the link to the farlight store, and you'll also get 5% extra dragon crystals. So I really appreciate it. If you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I really like brownness, yeah. It's yummy. I play games with y'all.